We're here at Sun and Fun in the new and improved Paradise City, where we've got a lot of action going on this year, but we have something brand new that we haven't seen here anyway. We've seen the airplane before, and in fact I got to do a pilot report on it, so I'm the lucky one. But now it's new at Sun and Fun. That's correct, isn't it? I think we've not seen it here before. Let me do some introductions here. We'll start off with the man in the middle, Matt Lenitsky, the importer and the head of the program here, bringing in the Sling from all the way from South Africa. We know this airplane, I'll get to the other introductions in a moment. We know the airplane because this one, or one like it, not this particular one, did a trip all the way around the world. And west to east, excuse me, east to west it was, all the way around the world with Mike Blythe and James Pittman. There's the other name. They're the fellas back in South Africa at the airplane factory putting this nice little airplane together. Ryan Rule, did I do the last name right, Ryan?
Yes, sir.
I knew I had the first name right. Working with Matt for a long time, and you two guys have done quite a bit of flying together too, I know. So, and Tim, I don't have your last name handy.
Williams.
Tim Williams. All of them came out here to Sun and Fun, and who got to fly out?
We flew out and he's flying back.
All right, so splitting the duty a little bit, but you get to go both ways, I hear.
No, I don't.
You don't get to go both ways. Darn it. Oh well, I bet you get some more flight time back in near San Diego. Torrance Airport is where the Airplane Factory USA is located. So, welcome to Florida. Nice to see you here. How's things going at the Airplane Factory USA?
Things are going great. We are almost complete. We're building our first Sling in California. So we started that at the beginning of the year, and we are pretty far along and only 4 months in. So we're starting to build them in Torrance, California. And otherwise things are going well. The economy looks like it's picking up, and we've taken a few orders, and we're getting more kits in, and things are looking very positive.
Now, we came out and visited you a while back. I forgot exactly how long. I saw the boxes, which I think had just arrived with a kit Sling in it. But when you say that, are you building an experimental amateur build, an ELSA, or an SLSA? You could do either, any of those.
Yeah, we're building an SLSA right now. We could go ELSA with it, but right now we're doing it within the quality assurance program of the airplane factory. And if we complete it and decide to go SLSA, we will get a compliance statement signed by the factory. So it'll be a US-made SLSA. We could go ELSA as well.
Now, Matt knows a little bit about this because before he got into this fixed wing thing, he also did weight shift trikes and got one through the SLSA process. Did a lot of learning there, didn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Paid some benefits when you do this?
Definitely.
All right. Well, it's an interesting project, and it's neat to see that the ELSA, part of the whole light sport phenomenon, is beginning to develop nicely. So good luck with all of that as well. But I got to fly the one that was already put together, came from South Africa, that one did. You did some assembly and then got it back in the air, got your approval on it. And it's a delightful flying airplane. We'll read more about that on my website. I'll tell you more later. So this airplane's pretty new, but are there some out there already?
Yeah, there are. We're around the world right now. We actually have about 70 flying.
70, okay.
But we've taken orders for a little over 120.
Oh, so. Wow, okay. So you're getting some great response. Is there plans to do anything more than just standard tri-gear that a lot of people want?
Yeah, actually this year we're coming out with a tail dragger version of this airplane.
Excellent.
Exactly the same, a nice side-by-side tail wheel light sport aircraft. And then the 4-seat version of this, which is a slightly stretched version, which is only available as a kit, obviously, is going to be available this year as well.
This year as well?
We're very excited about that, yeah.
Those boys over there must not sleep in South Africa.
Not much.
But you said sales are going well for you. How are customers responding to the airplane when they fly it?
Right.
Oh, they're replying very well, actually. We get the same sort of feedback that you gave us when you did your review. It's a very well-handling airplane. It's very responsive, it's spacious, great visibility. Those kind of things are what our customers actually point out to us when they get back from a test flight.
One of the things I liked about the airplane was this aft sliding canopy. Not a tilt up or tilt over or whatever canopy like that, and not doors to get in like a high wing would be. An aft sliding canopy's got some advantages in a safety environment over a forward swinging, backward swinging, side swinging, whatever. How do people respond to the sliding canopy? They like it? They wonder about it?
They love it. Most people love it. They love the visibility. They love taxiing around with the canopy open. And we haven't had any negative responses about the canopy. People love it.
Well, I would think, you know, you're in a warm climate, maybe not as warm as Florida can get sometimes. Pretty pleasant down there in Torrance year round, but it can get pretty hot. And yeah, the ones with doors, you got to have the doors open, or the vents trying to suck in some air, or if it's a canopy that lifts up, some people have to hold it up or something like that. This, you can just slide back and forth to your heart's content. Can you open the canopy in flight, people want to ask?
Below 80 knots you can.
Below 80 knots?
And we've done it, yeah. They haven't tested it above that, but when you slow it down to 80 knots, you can open it up.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't want it open at max speed anyway. You're going to blow you around a lot, but can you open it at any width, any opening then?
Only about a foot.
About a foot, okay. But that's going to let a lot of air in and kind of give you that, kind of like opening the top on your car a little bit. Huh?
Yeah.
All right, very cool. So this airplane, I mean, I can see, I'm looking down the line here, you're all seated right on the spar, very, very well done there. And I can see a line of rivets running down there that identifies the structure, but that also tells me how it's made. Is this an all-metal airplane, front to tail?
Absolutely, all metal.
You got a few fiberglass parts, do you,
Yeah,
or is it all metal?
A few fiberglass, the cowling and the wheel pants are fiberglass. The rest is all metal. The spars are solid riveted at the factory, even if you get the kit. The rest of it is all pulled rivets, and it all goes together pretty quickly because of that.
Excellent. So what is the build? Are you going to offer a kit as well, guys?
We do have a kit available.
Okay.
And it's a complete matched hole punched kit. Every piece is pre-formed.
So an owner doesn't have to set up jigging tables and some of that stuff to get it right. Just match the holes up here.
Absolutely. Okay. All you have to do is deburr one side of the holes because they're punched, and then basically you start clecoing and riveting it. And it goes
what kind of build time would you guess? What are you expecting?
About 1,000 hours.
About 1,000 hours, okay.
We've been pretty surprised. We've got about 350 hours in ours so far, the one that we're building in Torrance, and it's pretty much, all of the fuselage parts are pretty much complete. So we're going to be under 1,000 hours probably.
Well, you're going to learn things that you'll need to tell owners about. When you get done, you'll know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So that's good stuff. Tim, are you helping with this project at all?
Yes, I am.
All right. Are you learning anything from it?
Definitely.
All right. What's power in this guy?
It's a Rotax 912 ULS.
Okay.
100 horsepower.
100 horsepower?
Yeah, it's offered with both the ULS and the IS now, the fuel-injected version. But in this one specifically, we have the ULS.
It's always had, you can't see it from up here, we'll have some other views of it later, but I've always loved the way the cowling looks on this airplane. Let's go back on the inside of the airplane for a minute. How big's the cockpit? It looks pretty roomy to me.
It's 44 inches.
44 inches, so that's big enough to hear for those of us Americans that like a hamburger now and again. No problem getting in there together?
No, not at all. There's quite a bit of shoulder room actually, and we had some pretty tall guys, 6'4", 6'5", flying. It was still with still some headroom, just an inch below.
Yeah, it looks like from here, I'm looking back at the canopy, and it looks a little low here, but that's because it's going to come up and meet this part. I can see it swells up a little bit behind that. So you kind of lower your head a bit when you slide the canopy over. Is that the rule?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the control. You're seated in the seat, you got some room. What do we got inside to control the airplane with?
Yeah, we've got control sticks, dual sticks obviously. We've got a nice hand throttle in the middle that's really easy to operate. A hand brake that you pull back.
Got pedals on both sides?
Pedals on both sides. That's a steerable nose wheel, so it's really easy to control on the ground and really easy to brake, very stable on the ground.
Any adjustability built into the airplane for shorter guys, taller guys?
Yeah, the seats slide backwards and forwards, good like 5-inch range, and then the pedals also slide forward.
Oh, both then. Okay, so you can accommodate people of different body stature. Flaps?
Flaps, electrically operated flaps. All the controls are through push rods, and all of the controls are on bearings, so they're very smooth controls and very light handling, as you've discovered.
Top speed, cruise speed, not top speed, but max cruise, let's say, the number of people want to look for.
Our max cruise is about 120 knots right now.
Right at the top of the category.
Yeah,
then.
with the new
stall speed?
Stall speed 45.
45, so you're hitting the numbers right on the money.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Well, let's talk a little bit about what's in the panel of this, because I know you've long been associated with the MGL company. Maybe a different company completely, but supplying the instrumentation to this airplane?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about MGL avionics.
Yeah, this particular airplane, like all of the Slings, has got MGL avionics. Ours has got two Voyager EFISes with full flight information, full navigation, full fuel management, all our checklists on there. And this airplane's got the autopilot option, the MGL autopilot option. So when Tim and I flew from California, we had the airplane on autopilot most of the time, and it flies it beautifully.
They did nod off during that, did they?
Almost.
The airplane flies itself.
Yeah,
now you've got your screens are a little different than some of them. I think Garmin's got some touch capability, but your screens are significantly touch, right?
Yeah, our new model is a full touch screen system, which makes life real easy to access all the functions. No drilling into menus; you just touch what you want to interact with. And yeah, pretty much the full suite with everything that's included is in this airplane. We've got solid state circuit breakers, a few little things like that.
Excellent. Well, that's a lot of information, but let's put a wrap on it here and ask you for a website, which will have your contact information, so somebody who's interested can come and ask you a million more questions. What's the website address for it, either one of you?
It's www.airplanefactory.com.
Excellent. I've got information. I got to fly this airplane, as I said earlier. You can read that, get all the contact information for both the Airplane Factory USA and MGL Avionics on buydanjohnson.com or bydanjohnson.com. Thanks a lot for joining us today.